All right. So I hope everybody's doing well. Happy Thursday. This is just a quick video of me running through your homework. So this is your 4.1 practice. So I'm hoping that you're using this video where it says check your homework. So number one, we're just using the triangle sum theorem. So you notice that I've just set each one of these. I'm going to sum these two together. So 58 and 47, I'm going to take the sum of those, and then I'm going to subtract that from 180. It's no different than writing 58 plus 47 plus x equals 180. I honestly think that this is the way that Chandler was solving his problems, same way that I do. I think of it as a subtraction problem rather than a addition problem, but it still works the same way. So number one, x equals 75 degrees. Number two, x is 63 degrees. Number three, notice that we have a 90-degree angle right here. So instead of using 180, I know that 180 minus 90 is 90. So I just take the sum of these two angles, 3x plus 1, or 3x minus 1 and 31, and I set it equal to 90. And so I find out x equals 20. Number four. So number four, I'm using the exterior angle theorem, which says that the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the two non-adjacent or remote interior angles. So what does that mean? That means that if they're non-adjacent, that means they're not next to the exterior angle that we're talking about. So x equals 21 plus 34. So x is 55 degrees. Example number 5. 2x plus 3 plus 51 equals 100. So x is 23. Number 6, 60 plus 2x equals 94. X is 17. All right, number 7, triangle sum theorem, 52 plus 43 plus x equals 180. You find out that x is 85 degrees. Number 8, x plus 3x plus 2x equals 180. So x is 30. Number 9, again, this is a 90-degree angle. 180 minus 90 is 90. So 90 equals 2x minus 2 plus x plus 5. X equals 29. Number 10, using the triangle sum theorem, 10 plus 23 plus x is 180. You find out that x is 147. X plus x plus x, so 3x equals 180. This is an equiangular. So let's talk about that really fast. Equiangular just means that all of the angles are congruent. These are all the same measure. And that is also the same thing as equilateral. And so equilateral means all of the sides are the same. So if all of the angles are the same, then all of the sides are also congruent. So 60 degrees is my angle measure. 180 divided by 3 is 60. And number 12, 3x minus 17 plus 2x minus 5 plus x plus 40 equals 180. And you find out that x equals 27. Okay. Moving on to number 13. So I helped a lot of you with this in class. We were assuming that this was the same measure x, but really you have to start with this piece first. So 43 plus 57 plus whatever this is, right? So 180 minus 43 minus 57, well, that gives me 80. So this angle is 80. And that means that this angle that I have with the arrow drawn to it, this is also 80 because these are vertical angles. And we know that vertical angles are congruent to each other. So when I solve for this one, I have 2x plus 80 equals 180. 2x equals 100, which means x equals 50. X equals 50. Number 14, I did with you guys on the board. So hopefully you got that right. X equals 25. I showed you two different ways to solve that. Number 15, these are the same measure. So I called these Y. So 180 minus 44. Here's how I want you to think about this. So 44 plus 2Y equals 180. Where 180 minus 44 is 2Y, which tells you that Y equals 68. So this angle right here is 68 degrees. Well, if this is 68, and I know this whole angle forms a linear pair, 180 minus 68 is 112. 180 minus 68 is 112. So X equals 112. Number 16, again, I use that 90 degree. So 90 plus X equals 122. This is an exterior angle. The two remote interior angles equal the exterior. So X equals 32. Again, the sum of the two remote interior angles equals the exterior. 6X minus 7 equals 103 minus X plus 2X. So you find out that X equals 22. Number 18, this is an equiangular, and we just solved that. We know that each one of these are 60 degrees. So if all of these are 60 degrees, you can think of this as one of two ways. A, this makes a linear pair. 180 minus 60 is 120. Or you can think of it as this is the exterior angle, and the exterior angle equals the sum of the two remote interior angles. So X equals 2 times 60, X equals 120. That's another way to think about that. Number 19. So number 19, this first triangle is an isosceles triangle. And what do you know about isosceles triangles? Well, they have two sides that are same. And notice that the angles opposite of the congruent sides, so this angle and that angle, those angles are congruent to each other. So 180 minus 56 equals 2Y, which means Y equals 62. So if this measure right here is 62, and this forms a linear pair, then 180 minus 62 is 118. Well, there's something else that we know. If these two sides are congruent, then this angle is congruent to that angle. So 180 minus 62 equals, 180 minus 118. 180 minus 118 equals 2X. So 62 equals 2X. Divide both sides by 2. So X equals 31. Okay. Number 65 is like number 14 that I did on the board for you. So it depends on how you want to think about this, but I thought of this as, here is one triangle. So 180 minus 80 is 100. Minus 57 is 47. Or minus 53, sorry, is 47. So Y equals 47. That's this measure right here. And then I'm going to use this triangle and find the measure of angle Z. So 180 minus 50 minus 62. So 180 minus 50 minus 62 is 68. So now I have this triangle right here. And I'm trying to find the measure of X, which is this right here. So 47 plus 68 plus X equals 180. So I solve that and I find out that X is 65. So if this measure is 65, this is also 65. Why? Because they're vertical angles, and vertical angles are congruent. All right, so this last question, we have to identify the measure. We're solving for the measure of each angle, and and I am telling you why they are that, like what theorem or what rule or what type of angle makes this happen. So we know that this angle right here is 90. Well, if this angle is 90, then the measure of angle 4 is also 90 because they're vertical angles. But 3 and 4 form a linear pair, so angle 3 is also 90. Okay. But here at the bottom right, I have this angle is 68 degrees. So that means the measure of angle 2 is also 68 degrees because of vertical angles. But if angle 2 is 68, then angle 1 is 112 because they form a linear pair. So angle 1 is 112 because they form a linear pair. And then to find the measure of angle 5, well, the measure of angle 5 is 180 minus 90, which is 90, minus 68, which is 22. And then to find the measure of angle 6, well, angle 5 and angle 6 form a linear pair. So 180 minus 22 is 158. So let's kind of, after we've worked our way all around the triangle, let's match them up. So it says the measure of angle 1. Well, angle 1 is 112 degrees. The measure of angle 2, well, the measure of angle 2 is 68 vertical angles. The measure of angle 3 is 90 degrees. It forms a linear pair. The measure of angle 4 is also 90 degrees. It forms a vertical angle with that given measure. The measure of angle 5 is 22, triangle sum theorem. The measure of angle 6 is 158. You could use the exterior angle theorem, which says the exterior angle, the measure of angle 6, equals the sum of the two remote interior, 90 plus 68. So the measure of angle 6 equals 158. That's the exterior angle theorem. Or you can use the fact that it makes a linear pair, the measure of angle 5 plus the measure of angle 6 equals 180 because the linear pair is supplementary. 22 plus the measure of angle 6 equals 180. And when you subtract 22 from both sides, you find out that the measure of angle 6 equals 158. So this is me going through your homework. So this is lesson 4.1. And I hope that you're listening to this and checking your homework because I think that's beneficial and it helps you identify your mistakes. And I just want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to spend some time with my son. And I can't wait to see you guys on Monday.